Jai Shri Ram. Now the next is Canto 31 in the AYODHYAKAND. Hearing the dialogue of Sri Ram and Sita, Lakshman seeks his permission to accompany him to the forest. Sri Ram desires him to stay in Ayodhya in order to look after his mothers, but seeing his insistence, he agrees to take him as well and urges him to bring Suyan Yajna and other rishis, accounting them worthy of receiving gifts from him. Hearing the dialogue that passed between Sri Ram and Sita as reproduced above, the illustrious Lakshman, who had already reached there from Kaushalya's apartments along with Sri Ram, could not bear the grief born of his impending separation from Sri Ram, his face covered with tears. Tightly pressing the feet of his eldest brother, Lakshman, the delight of the Raghus, spoke as follows to Sita, who enjoyed great celebrity, as also to Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, who had undertaken a great vow. If your mind is set on proceeding to the forest, full of deer and elephants, I shall accompany you to the woodland, walking ahead of you, armed with a bow. Accompanied by me, you will roam about in delightful woodlands rendered noisy all round by birds and swarms of deer. Without you, I do not wish to ascend to heaven, nor do I solicit godhood, nor again do I crave for the rulership of the spheres. Speaking thus, Lakshman, the son of Sumitra, who was determined to dwell in the forest with his eldest brother, and was discouraged by Sri Ram in so many soothing words, submitted once more as follows: even though I stand already permitted by you to accompany you to the forest, how am I being prohibited anew this moment? I wish to know definitely wherefore I am being disallowed, though longing to proceed with you. For there is doubt in my mind, O sinless brother, as to how permission was granted in the beginning and is being withheld now. Sri Ram, who was endowed with great splendor, then replied as follows to the strong-minded Lakshman, who stood before him, eager to precede Sri Ram to the forest and soliciting the latter's permission with joined palms. Full of affection for me, devoted to virtue, resolute, constantly firm on the right path as shown by the Vedas, dear to me as life, amenable to my control and obedient, you are my boon companion too, and therefore worthy in every way of accompanying me. Yet if you proceed with me to the forest for which I am leaving today, O son of Sumitra, who will serve the illustrious Kaushalya and Sumitra, that highly glorious king, our father, who showered blessings on the people even as the god of rains sends down rain on the earth, stands fettered by the cord of love. Obtaining this kingdom, Kaikeyi, the daughter of King Ashwapati, will certainly not accord good treatment to her afflicted co-wives. Having attained sovereignty, Bharat too will not maintain the extremely miserable Kaushalya and Sumitra, devoted as he will naturally be to Kaikeyi, his own mother. By your own effort or by securing the goodwill of the king, O king, son of Sumitra, please look after here the aforesaid Kaushalya, who is worthy of the utmost respect. Pray accomplish this aforesaid purpose of mine. On service being thus rendered to elders, knower of what is right, devotion to me will have been fully demonstrated by you, and incomparably great religious merits too will accrue to you. For my sake, therefore, O son of Sumitra, do as aforesaid, for there will be no happiness for my mother bereft of us, O scion of Raghu. Spoken to thus by Sri Ram, Lakshman for his part, who knew how to speak, then replied in sweet words as follows to his elder brother, a master of expression himself. Inspired by your moral lustre itself, the Devout Bharat will treat with respect Kaushalya and Sumitra too. There is no doubt about it, O valiant prince. If led astray in consequence of having obtained the first-rate kingdom, Bharat does not protect his mothers through perversity and particularly from pride, O heroic brother, I shall make short work not only of that evil-minded and cruel fellow, but all his well-known adherents too. Nay, all the three worlds, if they side with him, there is no doubt about it. But the celebrated Kaushalya, who is worthy of the highest respect, and even by whose dependents thousands of villages have been duly obtained as grants, can support thousands like me. As such, the high minded Kaushalya is capable of maintaining herself as well as myself, and even so my mother, Sumitra, and those like me. Therefore, kindly make me your attendant. There will be no unrighteousness in it. I shall thereby have accomplished my object, and your purpose too will be adequately served. Taking my stringed bow and carrying a spade and a basket, I shall walk ahead of you, showing you the way. Nay, I shall procure for you from day to day wild roots and fruits and other products as well fit for being consigned as oblation into the sacred fire. You will sport at will with Sita, a princess of the Videha clan, on mountain tops. I shall do everything for you, whether you are waking or sleeping. Highly pleased at this submission, Sri Ram, for his part, replied as follows to Lakshman: Go, take leave to proceed to the forest, O son of Sumitra, of all your near and dear ones. Nay, the two heavenly bows, dreadful to look at, which the high-souled Varuna, the god of water, personally gave to King Janak at a grand sacrifice performed by the latter, a pair of impenetrable pieces of armor, a couple of quivers containing an inexhaustible stock of arrows, and a pair of swords shedding a spotless lustre like that of the sun and decked with gold, all these which had been presented to me by King Janak as part of my dowry, lay deposited after paying due reverence at the residence of our preceptor Sri Vashishta. Taking all those arms, return soon, O Lakshman. Taking leave of his near and dear ones and approaching Vashishta, the preceptor of the Ikshvakus, the prince, who was now assured of his sojourn in the forest, took all the excellent arms, etc. Lakshman, son of Sumitra, a tiger among princes, showed to Sri Ram all the aforesaid weapons that were adored as divine and stood decorated with garlands. To Lakshman, who had come back, Sri Ram, who had fully brought his mind under control, lovingly said, You have returned within an hour as desired by me, O gentle Lakshman. With you, O chastiser of foes, I wish to give away whatever wealth of my own there is with me to the Brahmans engaged in the austerities, as also to those jewels among Brahmans who are firmly devoted to their preceptors and live here in my palace, again to all my dependents too. Meanwhile, bring you speedily the most adorable Suyajna, son of Vashishta, and the foremost among the Brahmans, as also other cultured Brahmans, fully adoring them all. I shall forthwith proceed to the forest. Thus ends Canto 31 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Now we come to Canto 32. Having received gifts of jewels and ornaments from Sri Ram and Sita, Suyajna invokes divine blessings on the couple, enjoined by Sri Ram. Lakshman then bestows silk costumes and ornaments, etc., to the sons of sage Agastya and others. Urged by his wife, a sage, Trijata by name, approaches Sri Ram and seeks riches from him. Sri Ram thereupon bestows on him thousands of cows and distributes his remaining wealth among others. other Brahmins as well as among his relations and dependents. So we start the canto now. Bowing to the delightful and salutary command of his eldest brother, the execution of which involved substantial service to deserving Brahmins, and departing, Lakshman speedily entered the house of Sujanya. Saluting the said Brahman who was present in the fire sanctuary, he said, "O friend, visit you the palace of Sri Ram, who is going to do something hard to accomplish, and witness his doing with your own eyes." Concluding forthwith his periodical fire worship for midday, and proceeding with Lakshman, he entered in no time the lovely palace of Sri Ram, overflowing with wealth of all kinds. Seeing him arrived, Sri Ram, a scion of Raghu, rose from his seat with joined palms, along with Sita, to receive Sujanya, a knower of the Vedas, even as one would welcome a flame offered worship in the form of oblations. Sri Ram, a scion of Kakushta, gratified Sujanya with presents of excellent angadas, that is armlets, and beautiful earrings of gold, gems strung on gold threads, and also with keyuras, another ornament similar in shape to an angada but worn above it near the armpit, and bracelets, as well as many other super excellent ornaments. Urged by Sita, the said Ram then spoke to Sujanya as follows: "The illustrious Sita, your wife's friend, wishes to bestow a pearl necklace as well as a string of gold, and also a girdle on your wife. O gentle sage, please cause them to be conveyed to her. Leaving for the forest this very day, Sita, the friend of your wife, wishes to offer for her use angadas adorned with figures cut in it, and beautiful keyuras too. Sita, a princess of the Videha clan, also intends to have sent to your house as a gift a well-known couch inlaid with various jewels and provided with a first-class coverlet. I gift you, along with 1,000 gold coins, the elephant Satrunjaya by name, which my maternal uncle gave as a present to me, O jewel among Brahmans." Accepting the gift, which, when requested as aforesaid by Sri Ram, the celebrated Suyajna, for his part, pronounced benign blessings on Sri Ram, Lakshman, and Sita. As Brahma, the creator, would address Indra, the ruler of gods, Sri Ram then spoke as follows to his celebrated and beloved brother Lakshman, a son of Sumitra, who was polite of speech and stood unperturbed by his side, calling Agastya, a son of the sage Agastya, and Kaushika, a son of Vishwamitra, both of whom are foremost among the Brahmans. O son of Sumitra, honor them by offering valuable gifts to them, and then satiate them with presents of 1,000 cows each, as well as with gold and silver pieces and costly gems, even as a cloud would drench the earth with showers, O scion of Raghu. Further see that to the Brahman who waits upon Kaushalya with benedictions every day, devoted as he is to her, nay, who is a teacher of those studying the Taittiriya recession of the Yajurved, is a knower of all Vedas, and as such worthy in every way. O son of Sumitra, are duly gifted with conveyance and servant maids and silken robes, and as much wealth as that Brahman may feel satisfied with. There is the venerable Chitraratha, a charioteer cum minister of very long standing. Gratify him with presents of costly jewels, articles of wearing apparel and riches, and even so with animals of all kinds, such as female goats and buffaloes and 1,000 cows. Besides, here are many religious students carrying staffs as a distinguishing mark of celibacy, and studying the Katha and Kalpa recensions of the Vedas, who being ever engaged in the study of the Vedas, do not practice any other austerities in the shape of fasting, etc., but are nevertheless held in great esteem even by the great for their devotion to study, are inactive in the sense that they do not move out for begging alms and yet hanker for delicacies. Cause them to be given 80 camels loaded with jewels, 1,000 bullocks carrying loads of rice, and even so 200 bullocks useful for cultivation. Gift 1,000 cows more to the Brahmins, maintaining the sacred fire for yielding milk products, curds and ghee, etc., used for adding flavor to food. O Lakshman, a large multitude of celibates willing to marry on the impending expiry of their vow of celibacy waits upon Kaushalya, my mother. See that they are given 1,000 cows or gold coins each, so as to enable them to pay the preceptor's fee and defray the nuptial expenses. O son of Sumitra, nay, honor all the aforesaid Brahmans in every way so liberally that our mother Kaushalya may rejoice to see my gift to the celibates depending on her, O Lakshman. Like Kubera, the bestower of riches, Lakshman, a veritable tiger among men, thereupon distributed that wealth of Sri Ram among the foremost of the Brahmans as instructed by him. Having bestowed abundant wealth enough to sustain each of them for the entire period of his impending exile into the forest, Sri Ram then spoke as follows to his dependents, standing with tears blocking their throats. Till my return from the forest, the house which belongs to Lakshman and also this house which is now occupied by me should always be guarded by each one of you by turn. Having instructed thus all his dependents, distressed as they were at the thought of his exile, Sri Ram spoke as follows to his treasurer, let my wealth be brought here. All his dependents thereupon brought his wealth before him. That huge heap of wealth collected there really presented a splendid spectacle. With the help of Lakshman, that tiger among men then actually caused that wealth to be distributed among Brahmans who were yet mere boys or aged and to the afflicted. They say there lived in those days in the forest near about Ayodhya a Brahman Trijata by name, born in the line of Garga, who looked pale due to privations, and all his means of subsistence having failed, always carried an axe, a spade, and a plowshare, living as he did by digging the soil in order to get roots and bulbs, etc. Taking her young children with her, his wife, who was still young, approached and spoke to the said Brahman, who had grown old, as follows. Although the husband is a veritable god to the weaker sex, does not deserve to be commanded by his wife, pray follow my instructions, discarding the hatchet and the spade, seek the presence of Sri Ram, who knows his duty by the Brahmans, and you are sure to get something at least. Hearing the request of his wife, and wrapping about his lower limbs a loin cloth that could hardly cover his body, tattered as it was, he set out on the track which led to Sri Ram's palace. Up to the fifth gate, none in the large concourse of men collected at the gates of the palace stopped this Trijata, who with sages Bhrigu and Angira in spiritual glow, who vied with the sages Bhrigu and Angira in spiritual glow befitting a Brahman. Approaching Sri Ram, the said Trijata then spoke as follows. I have many children, though destitute, O Prince of extraordinary might. All my means of subsistence having failed, I perpetually dwell in the forest. Pray, look to me, Sri Ram. Look to me. Sri Ram thereupon replied jestingly to him as follows. Not even 1,000 of my cows have been given away by me so far. You will get as many of them as you will cover by throwing your staff across them, tightening his aforesaid loincloth round his waist and twirling his staff, he violently threw it with all his might, excited as he was. Released from his hand and flying across the Sharyu, that staff fell close to a bull in the midst of the multitude of cows, numbering many thousands, grazing there. Embracing him, Sri Ram, of devout mind, caused to be driven to Trijata's hermitage all the cows from the spot where the staff fell right up to the bank of the Sharyu, beyond which the cows stood grazing. Nay, consoling the said scion of Garga in every way, Sri Ram then said to him, "No offence should be taken by you, since this was only a jest indulged in by me. You were requested by me to undergo this trial, wishing as I did, precisely to test this remarkable strength of yours, which is really hard to excel. If you desire anything else, please ask for it. I tell you the truth, let there be no hesitation on your part, for whatever wealth belongs to me has been earned by me for the sake of Brahmans alone. Nay, through bestowal on you, according to the scriptural ordinance, it will bring me renown." Taking up the herd of cows bestowed upon him by Sri Ram, the great ascetic Trijata, who felt rejoiced with his wife, thereupon pronounced on Sri Ram, the magnanimous prince, at that time blessings calculated to enhance his reputation, strength, delight, and happiness. Encouraged by words excessive of highest regard befitting his rank, the illustrious Sri Ram too, who was endowed with perfect valor, portioned out to his near and dear ones in no time his enormous wealth earned through righteous might. At that time in Ayodhya, there was no Brahman relation, dependent or pauper, who was living on alms, who was not gratified with honor, gifts, and attentions conformable to his desires. Thus ends Canto 32 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a Rishi and the oldest epic. Jai Shri Ram.